Welcome to Lane University. My name's Conrad Layn. Welcome to Lane Avail University. My name's Conrad Layn. I'm going to teach you another strategy on how to properly transport your vehicles to another state. If you're an Avail owner and you want to start building passive income, I have many videos that go over my 200 car strategy. And when I say 200 cars, there's 50 states, right? 4 cars per state would be 200 cars. That's just one of my examples I use, that I'm building a massive fleet with Avail because I love the guaranteed earnings. They take care of your car. I've had an excellent experience with them. They've been really great. So my goal, and I have many videos that go into this, and I left, if you check the end of the video, I'm going to actually leave a video where it teaches my strategy. But the point is this: Avail gives you the opportunity to add 4 cars to each airport location, and now they have downtown locations. Each state, for the most part, has at minimum 1 airport. Or some airports, some states like Texas has multiple airports where they have 3 different airports that actually allow them to add 4 cars, which is 12 cars in Texas. So if I add 4 cars at, say, one airport, 4 at another airport, 4 other, that's 12 vehicles, 1 person. But at this point, and this might change, they only allow 4 cars per airport and 4 cars per downtown, for what I understand. This can always change, but that's not a problem. Just remember, I told you, 50 states, right? So if I get 4 cars at each location in the states, that means I have 200 cars and I can earn a passive income of $450 guaranteed earnings. But the question is, okay, if I'm one person, how do I transport cars to other states? The first strategy is this: you can always hire other people too. If you want to do this yourself like I'm doing it, that's 200 cars, basically 1 person, right? But say you don't want to work that hard, you don't want to focus on one person, you can actually hire people, or it could be your wife, it could be your husband, it could be your significant other, it could be a spouse, it could be a family member, a friend, whoever, a colleague, someone you hired, an employee, and all you have to do is add their name to the registration. They don't need to be an owner, but you just add their name to it. So say you add 4 cars to one airport and they capped you. So say you add 4 cars to one airport. That's it. That means I have to go to another state or another airport within the state to add another 4, which is cool. But say you don't want to do that. You just add another person on, and another person on, another person on, and if you have the vehicles, you just add their name as a secondary person on the registration, and Avail allows you to do that. Now you can add another 4 vehicles under that other person's name, but still earn an income from that. Now that's one strategy. The other strategy is one I'm implementing myself, is I can have 4 cars on myself, 1 airport, add another 4 within the state. If there's 2 airports, that's 8 for me. And if there's only 1 airport, then I move over to another state. Now the question is, how do you transport? A few ways to transport a vehicle. First, if you already own the car in your state, there are some great companies that I've had good rapport with. There's one named Shipley. I left the link below. You can actually contact them. But I do warn you, they're really good, but they send you a lot of different quotes. So I would recommend starting up like maybe a free email address with Google, Yahoo, or some other email provider where it won't annoy you and it won't bother you by having multiple emails being sent to you all hours a day, all nights, all hours a night. Make sure you get another email address, so that all that email, you can get a lot of email from Shipley, and that's pretty much just how they work. But they give you a lot of different rates to transport your car. That's one way to do it, is transporting your car. The next way to do it actually is simply by just instead of doing this, I left an article below that goes into Experian and the credit bureau, and also Equifax and TransUnion. What they allow typically is within 14 to typically 45 days, and sometimes doesn't matter, like they'll count all your inquiries for a car as either 1 or 0. I left the article below. This might be confusing, but what the credit bureau say is this: if you're going for a car loan, say you need to get a car loan, doesn't matter if it's a lease, doesn't matter if it's an actual car owner to finance. The point is, they'll allow you to go to this dealership, that dealership, that dealership. This is basically a shotgun approach. You basically go through 20 different dealerships and say each one you're approved for, right? That's 20 different cars, or that's 1 different car. Now you can use those cars and send them to different states. But what you can do is apply for different car loans in each state. And for example, companies like Carvana, even CarMax, they deliver cars on your behalf. So what I would do, and what I've done, and what I plan to keep on doing, is instead of paying for a transportation truck, because that can be awfully expensive, I'd rather keep my money, go to a banking institution online, for say if I want to open in Texas, or say Hawaii, or say Arizona, or wherever. It doesn't matter, as long as Avail's there. They have a downtown location that they allow you to drop the car off at, or they also have an airport location. I will get approved for a car loan in that state, and then simply have them deliver the car to the airport location, and I'll have it delivered to the downtown location. Voila. That way you're not paying for transportation. That way it's within, since you're buying the car anyway, it's an online purchase, you have it delivered, and you have 6 to typically 7 days usually to give the car back if it's not too satisfactory. And then what I'll recommend at that point when you're transporting, make sure you also get a Carfax report, which most dealerships offer this to you, but also have someone at Avail, because remember, they inspect the cars. This is what's so cool about this. This is why it's powerful. Avail will tell you if they can't have your car. So say you have your car delivered to that airport or that downtown location, and they say I live in California, but I qualify for a loan in Texas or Arizona, and they have it delivered to the airport location or the downtown location. They will inspect the car, and if it's not to their liking, they'll tell you, they let you know immediately. Then at that point, you give the car back, have the same provider pick up the car and pick another one. Bam, you don't even have to be in the state. Now, if you want to go there yourself and say, hey, you know what, I want to actually see the car myself, that's totally fine. Avail can actually do all that for you, but you can buy a plane ticket, go down there for 1 day, look at the car, drive it around if you want to, and drive back. Fly back home. Voila. That's how I'm doing it. That's how you do it as one person. But again, you can hire employees, but if you want to start transporting cars to other states, think outside the box. Just start going for car loans in other states. Don't do it in your state. That way they could deliver in your state. So if you're on Carvana or CarMax or some other dealership, online dealership, then you can say, hey, please deliver the car. They usually give the option to deliver it to this address, the Avail parking lot, downtown parking lot, or the Avail airport, and then the Avail staff will inspect it on your behalf. Bam. That's it, people. That's it. Now, if you don't want to do it, if you already have a car, they say, you know, I just want to add my car. Hey, I can't get a car loan right now, whatever the case is. Avail, at this point, this can always change, but at this point, as long as the car is registered in your state. So, for example, even though my car has California plates and is registered in my state, I can have my car rented in Arizona airport, for example, with Avail, or even Texas or another state. It doesn't matter, because as long as the car is registered, that's all they care about. As long as it's registered in your state and it has its proper tags, you can have a California plate and rent it in Texas or rent it in a different state. So for those that like, man, I can't get a car loan in another state, okay, you can have your car transported, or you can drive it yourself, or figure that out. And they can start renting your car out even though it's California plated or another state plated. But the best idea, in my opinion, what I plan to do, and I'm making quite a bit of money doing this, is to simply go online, getting a car loan online, and having them deliver it on my behalf, utilizing Avail to inspect the cars, because they inspect all the vehicles, and the Avail comes back clear. Now you have a human that's inspecting a car with a Carfax report, and Avail checks over it 3 to 4 times to make sure it's perfect. And if it's perfect, I buy. Bam. If it's not perfect, most car dealerships like Carvana, CarMax give you usually 3 to 7 days, and some even longer, to return the car, and they'll pick it back up for you. You can pick another car or just pick another company. That's how you do it. That's my transportation strategy for Avail. How I want to build my 200 car fleet, so I can make $450 times 200 by each state. Have 4 cars in each state, which is 200, and some states even have multiple airports, which is pretty cool. So for example, Texas has 3 airports. That's 12 cars I can add myself. So you don't even have to add all the cars for each state. You can just add at multiple states that have multiple airports, and that's what you do. Anyways, that's a secret for y'all. Absolutely free. This is why I did this. This is Conrad Layn's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button. Follow me on TikTok, Instagram. If you want to learn more about how to earn 6-figure wealth, there's a strategy that I gave to you for absolutely free. Love you guys. Conrad Layn out. Peace.